We have a completely new story mode, and again, I mean, the Little Big Planet we're doing, just like the first one and like Little Big Planet 2, is first and foremost a platform adventure, and with a great story mode that we spent a lot of time on and are really happy about. But then also I mean, except for the tools that were already available, we, just like the previous ones, wanted to add new tools, and just like they had new gadgets but same functionality, we have now all this awesome new functionality with tilt and touch that came with the Vita. So that came very natural for us just to expand on that, and also in this case with it being a handheld device, trying to bring tools that like the memorizer that would help people create that kind of gaming experiences that you would expect on a smartphone or any other handheld device.
I think the guiding phrase we had was always, does it feel natural? Does it feel right? We never wanted to just shoehorn things in or force functionality in where it didn't just fit anyway. So the way we've seen this hardware is it's just like getting a whole load of new tools to play with, and well, what can we do here? It's always about breaking up the flow, the gameplay, and keeping things feeling fresh. So yeah, we never felt like, oh, we have to put something touch based in here. It's like, well, where can we do it?
We wouldn't just go over and say, now you're gonna this is how you're going to run with Sackboy now on the touchpad, because we wouldn't want to change anything that already works. We've been working, like Dave said, with trying to make everything feel, natural, because it is such an important franchise. There is such an important community, and we had a lot of people that we recruited into the company straight from the community. And if we wouldn't see that this doesn't feel natural, they would definitely tell us. So that's been great, because we've been able to moderate ourselves, even sometimes within the company, before making changes like that. Just because we would never want to break what is actually Little Big Planet, just to try to fulfill a scheme of new functionality, because people would see through that.
And I don't think that situation was ever in danger of coming up either. I think Little Big Planet and this functionality of the Vita has always felt like such a perfect fit. It's like it's a crafty, hands-on universe where you just want to reach in and play with things. And with all of this, with all that the Vita can do, we never felt like, oh, how are we going to get this in? It was just, how are we going to best do it?
Yeah, the funny thing is that there is all kinds in the community,
Yeah.
really. I mean, that's how we found people now. Now we need somebody who's really good with art, who makes really beautiful levels. And okay, so and people recommend each other. Oh, this guy with some strange nickname you haven't heard before. And he does it really nice. I'm like, okay, let's bring him in and have a look at. And then we have other guys, that are really good with technical. We had like 2 math teachers. They're in real life they're math teachers, but they bought the game and they make these awesome creations that are just technically really advanced, but also very optimized, so that they don't cost anything, which is typical than you would say for a math teacher. So you got all kinds of people out there creating, which is awesome. I'd say working on it's hard to define, because in the beginning it was very much what can it be, what's it gonna be. It was a very undefined pre-production phase. So I'd say that we were somewhere between like 1 and 2 years, which is pretty fast for this size of a game. It's extremely fast actually, and a lot of people involved. But from the beginning, when we got the assignment, the Vita didn't exist. So it was, okay, so you're going to take over one of the most important franchises, and it's going to be on a new device, and we can't tell you anything about the device. We were like, oh, great.
Okay.
So, no problem. We'll start tomorrow, guys. No, so that was a little intimidating, but, it's an awesome challenge. But we, as it was, we were then asked, about the functionality. What could we imagine could be possible, or did we have any suggestions, for this handheld device early on? Not only us, of course, but a lot of other people were asked those questions. So, and some of the ideas that were gonna, what was gonna be on the device from the beginning didn't come true, and some new stuff were added along the line. So that's also why like I said, the pre-production phase was a little undefined, because it was a lot about, we're not having that feature anymore. Okay, guys, stop working on that. Let's concentrate on this one. So we were involved, and we just tried to do our best to, as the features came in, to just come up with new ideas and see how could that fit with existing levels and tools, and what have other people done, on other consoles, or tools or whatnot. I think it's because we, like Dave said, that we've been working with the Little Big Planet franchise for quite some time. Where the reason we started, we got in contact with them, was that do you remember the PC game Ragdoll Kung Fu? Yeah, so it was a pretty niche game, but very appreciated. And the creator of that was Mark Healy. who then went on to be a co-founder of Media Molecule, who would make LittleBigPlanet. So we were asked by Sony to make the PlayStation Network version of Ragdoll Kung Fu, a new version for a more mainstream audience. So that's how we got in contact. And then obviously Mark Healy looked at what we were doing with Ragdoll when we created Ragdoll Kung Fu Fists of Plastic. And he's like, oh, this is cool. I really like it. And the art style is really nice. And then the request came, we were working on something new called LittleBigPlanet. Do you have any people over on the art side that could, help us, do some extra costumes and stuff like that? So that's how we got in contact the first time. And then we started doing more and more costumes. And I think for LittleBigPlanet 2, we did almost all the costumes in the entire game. And on the disc, and then so much of the DLC that we've shown, we have done during the year. So that's why, as Dave said, I think that they had a lot of trust in us for understanding the franchise, how important the art and all the fabric and all of that should always shine through. So I think that's why they entrusted us with picking up the torch and taking the franchise further.
Genuinely, I think every aspect of it, every team have done a great job. The technical guys at Double 11 in England have done a fantastic job of bringing all of this game, this technology to the Vita. And our art guys, as we've talked about, they're unbelievable. They really understand how things should look and feel. And similarly with design as well, they've run with this, all of this new potential. They've really made the absolute most of it. So I honestly would say the entire game, people should be very excited about.
Yeah, just one area that we usually don't talk that much about is the audio, where that was a new hire for us. The guy is called Tobias, and he's done just a tremendous job, putting it all together, finding composers, and this is just one thing it's always there, the audio. Maybe you don't always think about it, but it just gives so much to, especially story mode. And also, like, for example, Stephen Fry, the narrator, to have him is a great familiar thing, but also at the same time we have a new voice cast who gives like all these crazy characters also very unique look and feel, so makes the whole story very unique. So no, I think it's easy. It's easy to think about the things I think audio is a good thing.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah. With what Tobias has done, the music he's got in each of these worlds is fantastic. It really captures the personality of each of the worlds. Like the first world, La Marionetta, we've got a real Balkan infused, style of music, and it just fits it perfectly and just makes everything feel that much more whole. It's and the voice actors as well. Yeah.
And then the other one I like when he's going on that ship, Colin Flounder in that piece, and which is kind of like Indiana Jones inspired. to me, it feels like this great adventure is going to start, and you're like, oh. But those are the things you usually forget about because it's just there,